They've done it again. Johanna Runt and Stephen Mitchell are the APTA national champions for the second year in a row.
There you have it, your women's APTA national champions, Florentina Harnisch and Anna Maria Zabori.
Hello and welcome to the APTA's Tour Series. We are live from the Manufacturers Country Club in Fort Washington, Pennsylvania, bringing you the 2022 Philly Open Men's and Women's NRT events sponsored by the APTA membership, our national sponsor, Paddle Pro, and local sponsors, Tester Construction Group, Penna's Italian Market, La Cabra Brewery, Andrew Hawker, The Rackets Realtor, and Skull U. I'm Patty Hogan, along with Lauren Mandel, bringing you the finals in the women's play between the number 3 seeded team of Gabby Nicolescu and Roxy Anika, playing up against the unseeded team here of Jade Curtis and Martina Andreikova. Hey, Lauren, tell us about the players we're going to see in action today.
Hi, Patty. I'm excited to be here for this final. On the far side of the court, I'm now on the side closest to us in the ad court in the kind of orange, is that orange shirt? We have Gabriela Nicolescu and her partner, Roxy Anika. And they're facing on the other side in the deuce court in the white pants, Martina Andreikova and Jade Curtis. Curtis and Andreikova finished their semifinal match at around 10 o'clock last night, and it was quite a thriller that they won 7-6 in the third. They were down 5-2 in the third against the new and very exciting team.
Vanessa Petrini and Lynn Kiro.
Lynn Kiro, yep, Anika and Nicolescu had an easier path to the final, and they have sort of been knocking, they were both out for a while, and they've come back slowly but surely this year. This is their third tournament together, and the first two tournaments came to Harnisch and Zabori, like everybody else, and they're looking really good, and they are poised to take their first title, but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to take a look at the draw here, Lauren? You just alluded to it a little bit, but I think that upstart team of Kiro and Petrini just rocked the paddle world yesterday. Just played a phenomenal match. It was so exciting to watch till 10 o'clock last night. Curtis and Andreikova, kind of came through, took out Gio Williamson there in the early go, took out Prendergast Zink, 3-time national champs. Anika and Nicolescu, I just thought had everything going in that quarter, in the semifinal win over number 1 seeds Delmonico and Cooper. And big switch in this tournament for Anika and Nicolescu. They've switched sides, Lauren, and we've seen a lot of players go back and forth, play deuce court, ad court, and see what works best for them. The first 2 tournaments they played together this year, we had Anika in the ad court, Nicolescu in the deuce court to try to take advantage of her amazing return to serve out of that deuce court. But they've flipped things here, and I think that feeds beautifully into the strengths of Nicolescu, who just loves to apply constant pressure when she plays out of that ad court, Lauren.
And maybe we'll take a look now at the Viking keys to victory, see what we think each team has to do to win. Okay, so for Curtis and Andreikova, it's going to be very, very important for them to be able to handle the rollers that are going to come at them for both of their opponents, especially those rollers into the deuce court for Andreikova, because as smooth as Andreikova is and as good as an all-around player as she is, her least favorite shot is getting a tough ball out of the screens. So we'll have to look for that. We saw a little bit yesterday. If Curtis doesn't serve deep and they're good returners, they're going to attack her serve and make it difficult on her team. So that will be an important factor. And they don't want to give up the net. They want to be able to stay on the net. They don't want to give it up to their opponents. For Anika and Nicolescu, they both have had, I would say for each of them, the least strong part of their games is their serve, so that'll be important for them. They have to communicate. As you said earlier, they're both alpha players. They both like to take control, and they both can take control. And so they just have to make sure they're not taking control at the same time. And, look, I really think this is their match to lose. They have to play within themselves. They have, I think, the bigger weapons. And if they do that, they will be favorites to win the match.
Yeah, that's spot on that analysis, Lauren. And we had a contribution for our Viking Keys to success today. None other than Anna Zabori this morning at 6:30 in the morning. We were texting each other. I just thought it'd be great if, from her personal point of view, Zabori just kind of shared some of her insights, and it's exactly what we had discussed. It's going to be so key for Curtis and Andreeva to hold the net, because I think they're going to struggle from the baseline. I think anybody on the planet would struggle facing the overheads of Nicolescu and Anika in combination.
Yeah, it's just a constant barrage, and it's not something that they're going to want to look at over and over. And the only way you can avoid it is by being at the net.
Yeah, we didn't throw in, the importance of lobbing well, but for Curtis and Andreeva, when they are on the baseline, they're going to really have to spot some lobs. I think in particular Martina trying to cause some confusion maybe with a cross-court lob out of that deuce court, just because, throw a ball in there, and Anika and Nicolescu never met an overhead that they didn't want to hit. And so, they've got to share. There's only one ball, two players, two incredible players, as you talked about, two alphas traditionally, and we'll see, if the blending of the waves and the switching of the courts, they're just crushing it in this tournament so far. And Curtis and Andreeva, I've got to say, I was so impressed. They were down 4-2 in that match, third set.
5-2. 5-2.
5-2. Right. Yep. Well, they were down 4-2 and 5-2, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I was going to get to that. No, I'm only kidding, Lauren. Spot on. But what I was saying was, all of a sudden, I saw Andreeva just take it into another gear with her return to serve in that deuce court, and then that just freed up Curtis to do her thing. And what an awesome display. And, again, the Petrini-Kiro match. We're seeing a wonderful team emerge in front of our eyes, and it's so great for the sport of platform tennis to see these players who come in, have no fear, incredible racket skills, incredible poise, and Curtis and Andreeva were lucky to escape last night, I think.
We're going to see a lot of Kiro and Petrini in the future, and I can assure you that all these top seeds are going to be happy not to have to face them in the early rounds once they gain more ranking points.
Yeah, and talking about the ranking points, when you go down a bit going into this tournament, here you have Andreeva and Curtis. They were all the way down to number 18, just as a function of a newer combination this year. It goes, their top five scores or average points are what determines the seeds here. And so this tournament was huge for them to at least, to get through into the semis and the final, for them having a great position at nationals, because they're one of the teams that no one would want to see early on. And, they were within 2 points of getting to 5-all in Short Hills against Zabori and Hanish in the semifinals. So they are one of the teams that is in every conversation with potential to win a national title. And Andreeva herself won with Nicolescu.
Okay, I think looks like we're getting ready to be. Gabby Nicolescu to serve.
These four players are, among our game's brightest stars. Jade Curtis teaches at the Country Club of New Canaan. Martinez teaches over at Greenwich Country Club. Like we said, she won the 2016 National Championship with Gabby Nicolescu. Roxy Anika, what a wonderful player. She's teaches nearby you at Orienta Beach Club.
Yes, she does. Yes.
And
yes.
Gabby is over at the Patterson Club with Liz Cruz. The number of national titles on display out here. Anika is a 3-time mixed national champ. Nicolescu, Nick's national champ, 3-time Open women's champ, and Andreikova, 1-time Open championship. So we're seeing the best in the women's game here in this final.
30, love.
It's right away what we talked about, defending the roller.
Every short lob. You're not going to see Nicolescu or Anika hit one of those, what we call waterfall type of overheads. They're never doing that. They're just going to crush the ball. They're going to wind up, hit the ball as hard as they can.
40, love. Game, Anika Nicolescu, they lead the first set 1-0.
Well, that was a quick game, and that's why we talked about the fact that Curtis and Andreikova want to be able to get to the net.
Yeah, and you know, here we go. It's a noon start here in Philadelphia. As we said, Andreikova and Curtis had to be on the court last night till 10 o'clock. They started their day, I think, at 8 a.m., Lauren, or 8:30? Oh, no, I forget when they started. Maybe they started at 10. They had a snow delay, rain delay, going into yesterday. But my point is they're on the court till 10 o'clock last night. And it's a grind, and all of a sudden you get up this morning, and, I'll be interested to see what kind of start they get. Sometimes your body doesn't feel so great after 10 hours of paddle on day one.
And not only was it a physical grind, but it was a mental grind. I mean, they had 2 3-set matches. The match before the semis was also a 3-setter with Gio and Williamson. And that was a mentally very exhausting 7-6 in the third semifinal match. So that also takes a lot out of you.
Lauren, we got lots of people watching already. Easton, Maryland, Mary Chambers weighed in. Let's go, everybody. Shoot me a text. Let's see how many states we can get up to in this women's final. Lauren, you keep track of countries.
That's easier.
30-15.
This is an international offering of women. You want to talk about where their countries of origin, Lauren?
Sure. Well, Jade Curtis is British, and Martina Andreikova is, God, I always forget what country she's from.
Slovakia?
Slovakia. I was going to say, I also want to say Slovakia, but I hate to say it if it's wrong. But I think so.
I think so, because Vicky Stoklasova's country.
Yes, correct. Roxy Anika is Romanian, and so is Gabriela Nicolescu. Right?
Yep, and I didn't really mean that it's Vicky Stoklasova's country, but it might be after her Hall of Fame induction in March at Nationals with Anna Brazova.
40-30.
See, there's the pressure on the return to serve, and I think Andreikova has a tendency to play. I mean, she's a tall woman, and she plays tall. She plays the upright, and I think both Anika and Nicolescu can hit those tipping kinds of topspin shots that are going to pose a real problem here for the volleying.
Yeah, I thought Andreikova volleyed exceptionally well yesterday. She really handled the drives so well. We'll have to see if she can do it again today against some more relentless pressure.
All right, we got Clarissa O'Hearn, Plainfield Country Club, New Jersey, still dialed in. Happy to see her pro Martin advance there with Maxine Pavere. Barely. But they got it together. They played a great third set.
They did. I thought they were going to be out of it.
Advantage, Curtis Andreikova.
Roseanne Paretti's enjoying the action from the Rackets Club in Short Hills, New Jersey.
Game, Curtis Andreikova. Games are 1-1.
Well, and there Andreikova showed you that she can handle the ferocious drive.
But you see her tendency to pop up. I mean, if Nicolescu makes that second drive, that was going to be a problem for Martina. That's that lob. That's the perfect spot that I was referring to. I think if a lot of those lobs can come out of the deuce court where Andreikova is, that's going to be the way to kind of derail these amazing roller overheads that Nicolescu and Anika possess.
Well, it effectively got them to the baseline, too.
Oh, out! Love 15.
Lauren, really pleased and, fascinated with not fascinated, but really impressed by Jade Curtis, over the course of this season from the Witch tournament to here. These guys start off the year strong and they went out in the finals to Zabor and Hanish. But her play, I think in particular, just because I haven't seen her that much over the years, she's really only jumped on the scene the last couple of years. She was away a season down in Florida, and she's back, and I think she's taken her game to another level. She seems to possess every tool needed in this sport to win a national title.
She has no weaknesses. I mean, maybe her serve, but not more so than a lot of people, and her serve is consistent, and when she hits it deep, it's good. She's an excellent player. She had, I think she and Vicky Stoglasova could have won a national title together, but they didn't play long enough.
I'm going to keep track, Lauren, of how many New Jersey clubs weigh in here. So far, we just got our third, Fiddler's Elbow. I think a Mike Schmidt out at Fiddler's Elbow is enjoying the action. Out at that beautiful facility, the site of the APTA Men's Teams Nationals, the first weekend in April, Lauren.
Yeah, and that's a great event. The Men's Team Nationals. You want to talk about a little bit about it?
Sure, after I talk about David Chelson, who just said, put Maine on your list, Patty. Come on, Deb and I are watching. Team Nationals, you get a team of your buddies and within a 15-point range of your PTIs. And you'll come to head to Bedminster, New Jersey, Summit Short Hills area, everywhere, Mendham, Morristown. Everybody gives us their courts. Greg Morgan is leading up that effort, APTA board member Greg Morgan, along with some help from his friends Patty and Dave. And Amin Kaduri and Sam Byron. The PTI committee have a great weekend of activities, same weekend as Chicago. Mike Raleigh and the Exmoor Club will host that event for, I believe, the third time. So the team nationals are catching on. I think we're up to about 200 players. I think they had 20-something teams. You get 6 guys on a team or 7 guys and play a couple of matches in round-robin form and see if in the round-robin format and try to advance to the semis on Sunday morning.
Meantime, Andreikova's dug herself a hole here on her serve of 40.
15, 40.
It's so easy to dig a hole for yourself when you're serving and you look up and you're like, oh boy, it's Roxy Anika. Oh boy, it's Gabby Nicolescu. There's no safe spot on the court.
No.
James, Cruz, Anika Nicolescu. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Well, so far, these games are going very quickly, Patty. Who do you think the fast pace of play favors?
I'm going to go Anika Nicolescu. They love playing fast.
The faster the better as far as they're concerned.
Yeah, it's going to be up to Curtis Andreikova to dictate, slow down this match. If it goes fast, it will go fast. I think in favor of Nicolescu and Anika. But right there, I like Andreikova showed some good footwork. That's what I saw last night in that last set, where she really started bouncing around and showed, real good footwork and timing and just was crushing her return of serves. Like, they played with a real sense of urgency, and that's what I would like to see from them a little bit more before they dig themselves into a hole. Or get in a hole because of their opponent's great play.
correct. I misspoke when I said dug herself into a hole. She had a lot of help from her opponents.
I've just got an update from APTA CEO Amin Kaduri. We're up to 25 different teams for both the men's and the women's team national championships. Lauren. You still have time to get your team together. We talked about it yesterday. Trying to recruit you to my team because I know you got game. But, you know, we might be busy in the announcing booth. We're going to have to let someone else play.
Yeah, we can do that. Look, I mean, we've talked a lot about how you don't want to look at Nicolescu and Anika on the other side while you're serving. You don't want to look at Curtis and Andrekova either. They both have great returns as well, and they're really coming up big this game.
Yeah, that's why these 4 women are among the game's best players. They can apply the pressure, and there's a tag. I don't know if we want to keep track of the hits off the overhead from the woman in orange or pink or whatever that color is, Lauren.
Well, they're just going to keep going after Andrekova in that deuce court. That's going to be a big play for them.
Okay, and so let's talk about Andrekova over there in white, her best color. You know, it's going to come down to some footwork from Andrekova here because if she leaves a lot of room to her right, like along that sideline, I think that's going to be a problem. I think she tends not to go to the side, but if I see Nicolescu warming up, I've seen players have success only when they get out, move over to the side screen instantly so that they almost can have some sideways forward momentum to take the roller up that side screen, and if it doesn't go there, let their partner cover. But I just think playing traditionally and leaving that corner open is really dangerous.
The other problem for Andrekova is she stands pretty far back, so she's all the way over and back, and it's just too hard to catch up to that ball.
Yep, good low ball, good pressure. Anika really is a wonderful volleyer low, just a little bit quick there with her move. Kind of has to quiet her paddle head a little bit there.
This game, she's made a bunch of very good first volleys.
Yeah, I would expect to see more games broken than holds in this match overall, potentially, Lauren.
Yeah.
Meaning if you hold serve in this final, it's going to feel like 2 games.
The first couple games were holds. I
Yep.
was surprised.
Well, I think they're going to start off the match at measured returns, you know, and then I think they'll free up and become a little bit more freewheeling as they, you know, kind of get their comfort zone in this final match.
Game, Anika Nicolescu, they lead the first set 3-2.
How many points in that game were won on rollers, Patty? 4?
Ooh. All of them?
4 or 5? Not all of them, but close.
Yes, right. Yeah. But that's where we're going to have to see that adjustment. I'm sure Curtis and Andrekova talked about it before they went on the air, but, you know, one thing is talking about it and having a plan. The second thing is the reality of dealing with it. And I'm going to be fascinated as this match evolves if they do anything about that. I really think Martina needs to, like, head out the side door. The moment she sees Nicolescu wind up, she should just take a run for the side. I think we saw with, you know, the amazing team of Shea and Dardis, where Dardis used to be vulnerable to that play, and then they figured out, just commit, run to the side screen. Amy Shea can cover anything behind and was real successful at offsetting the roller overheads.
So impressive. She really committed to that, Dardis, and it worked. It neutralized it, and it got them in matches with Nicolescu that they weren't in.
Thank you. Sorry.
Lauren, so Amin's in California, but he's from Massachusetts. Does that count for 2 states?
No, state he's in at the moment.
All right, excellent. I'm going to use California. I think that's handy.
Yeah.
Chatham Fish and Game, one of the great local clubs in the Summit community, giving up their courts for Junior Nationals next weekend. Dwayne Lapis joined the action. I believe it's Dwayne's number.
15
Could be
all.
Jeff Deal, who's teaching there.
Good little soft shot into the screen from Jade Curtis. Confused Roxy and Nico a little bit.
Really good serve from Curtis up the middle there, Lauren.
She places her serve very well.
15-30.
Seeing right there, if you haven't seen Nicolescu play a lot, that's what she does. She's in bright colors because she shines brightly, and she is explosive on the court, and anything short on the deck, she's going to make a move and capitalize. That's why, for them as a team, I love Anika switching over to the deuce court and letting Nicolescu just roam out of that ad court.
I gave Jade Curtis the service jinx by saying that she serves well, and it's 15-40.
Game, Anika Nicolescu. They lead the first set.
Anika's saying, I can hit forehands too, you know.
Well, that's what makes him so dangerous
Yeah.
from the back court. And you see, Anika really kind of sitting way out of that corner, just tempting them to hit a ball in the corner. They don't think they will, and she can sit on that forehand. She hits that inside-out topspin forehand, so much like her roller overhead. She gets that thing going. Real trouble for Andreikova and Curtis to defend. Having said that,
15.
Curtis and Andreikova, one of them could have swung at that ball. I mean, they just kind of stood there and watched. And, they're going to have to close in, play a little closer together. They're both righties. They can do that. And, I think that'll be one of the keys to see if they can seal off the middle of the court on that drive from Anika if she keeps bringing it from that deuce court.
15 all.
That's far, far, far back to hit that roller.
Well, it's far back, but our names aren't Roxy or Gabby.
No, yeah. I'm not saying I would hit it.
Great footwork.
30.
Yeah, you see right there on that drive how Anika made the move and straddled the middle line. That's how far over they shifted as a team. And were able to negate the Andreikova forehand out of that deuce court. Yeah.
Service wide. Yeah.
Nika went for a little too much right there. I mean, she is a little bit suspect sometime on the serve, and a way to kind of mitigate that is
30.
play a higher percentage spot on the court, because this is what happens to Roxy a little bit. She'll miss one, like she'll play amazing, and then all of a sudden she'll miss one and she'll chunk an error on the next ball.
Game, Curtis Andreikova. Anika Nicolescu lead the first set.
I don't know. I feel like this sidearm serve is very hard for players to control. I'm not sure. I don't know. I like Roxy's other serve, but obviously she's more comfortable hitting this.
Right. Roxy had one of the most beautiful service motions, the way she hit that, she hit that kick serve. I remember when she came into the game. She's not the tallest woman, and what a skill set she had with her hands and her ability to maneuver her grips to create all different kinds of spins. And I did love her serve. But I think, it's it's a long, time, and stuff changes, and your psyche changes, your approach changes. You see so many people serving sidearm, then you think, hey, why don't I do it? Especially if you're playing against some of these taller women who love that high bouncing ball. So I think she's settled in. I think the overhand serve for Roxy is out the window this year.
I haven't seen her use it once. She definitely prefers this serve.
All right, that's Martina Andreeva serving. Down 3-4 first set. Finals of the Philadelphia Open NRT event.
Dave Curtis really used that drop shot effectively last night, too. She's very comfortable hitting it. She has very, very good racket control.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the differences in the match. I thought Andreeva's return to serve pressure, and then I thought the handiwork, the drop shots from Curtis really made a difference. And it's good to drop shot your opponents when they've played for 9 hours up to that point. Yes. Always a good strategy.
30.
Hard when you miss a couple serves and you just want to get it in, but if you just get it in, it's going to come back to you like that. Becomes a conundrum, Patty.
Yep, and I would solve the conundrum easily by just staying back personally.
Yep.
Because I just think Nicolescu kills people with her return to serve. That sets up her entire baseline play in her comfort zone. And if you give them the net, who cares? But that's the problem. They're so vulnerable to the roller overhead from Nicolescu that they'd rather hold their ground and attempt to hold on to the net here.
There was an excellent serve.
We might need 2 balls soon.
Yeah, it's amazing they didn't both swing at that.
Oh, shit.
That's the only thing, Anika does like playing closer to the middle than most deuce players.
Good job by, Andreeva. Handled the roller, got the short ball, but just couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, again, we talk about pace of place. Things are moving along fast here, Lauren. And we said when we came on, this favors a team of Nicolescu and Anika big time in this matchup.
That's the risk with the blitz.
Yeah, and I think, to go at Roxy at the net, I think is a little bit questionable. Roxy missed a volley earlier, but she's got phenomenal hands.
Yeah.
3-time mixed national champ, 2-time women's finalist. She's got the hands. Little shaky choice for Anika right there.
That's a tough overhead to hit falling backwards. There's just not a lot of room there, not a lot of margin for error. And no real reason to hit it.
Yeah, I believe there was a conversation in a foreign language right there between Nicolescu and Anika on that overhead choice.
30-15.
Oh, that's a tough follow-up miss. You had Anika who did it kind of a less than favorable choice, made it, a poor choice on that overhead. And that's where, to get the set or to stay competitive in this match throughout, you've got to capitalize when you get those openings. Nicolescu, you watch her play, and you watch her serve. She's got kind of a unique serve in the game. She kind of hits the side, a little bit underneath the ball. Doesn't hit with a lot of pace, just goes with a little bit of underspin. And, is so consistent with it and has such confidence in her volley that it's not worth it for her to actually go for any more on her serve, I don't think, Lauren.
She gets behind the ball, and it gets her into the net, and she's got an incredible first volley, so...
Go.
40-30.
Beautiful shot of the Anika roller. You could just see the wide stance. She just lets that ball drop into her bower zone, just accelerates through. She's got her grip way over. Just too tough a ball to handle right there for Jade Curtis.
That point.
Game, Anika Nicolescu.
Curtis came
They
over
win
to
the
help,
first
but
set,
left too much room, and there's the first set.
Yeah, Lauren, I think we were spot on. So was Anna Zabori and our keys to victory. We'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by eNet Live. We'll talk more about it in the second set.
Done. Great job. Hey, good stuff to you. Patty, good job. Yeah, a lot of fun. You guys look great out there. How long have you been playing?
Who, me? Oh, I've been playing my whole life. How about you?
Wow, I only started playing when I retired. Someone say retired?
Looking good out there, Eli.
Thank you.
Love 15.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour. I'm Patty Hogan along with Lauren Mandel from the Philly Open. This is the finals between Andreikova and Curtis up against Nicolescu and Cruz. Lauren, let's talk a little bit about that first set.
It went, pretty much how we expected. I mean, the roller was a huge factor, the biggest factor, and the serve. And,
30.
it's hard to see what Andreikova and Curtis can do because they have to lob well. But if they lob, they're open to the roller coming at them. And if they drive all the time, that's not going to work either. So, what do you think?
I think they have to adjust. They have to adjust their baseline play a little bit. And I think, it always goes with volleying. You've got to volley deeper to not give Nicolescu and Anika any opportunities for some easy balls on the short shot. You just saw it there. I mean, they can just pounce. And I just think their hands are so good in that situation up against Curtis and Andreikova, so they're going to have to figure it out. It is a puzzle, and there's a lot of pieces out there still.
Yeah, in the meantime, it's a quick love 40 in the opening game of the second set. And there was something new. Curtis stayed back.
Game, Anika Nicolescu. They lead the second set, 1-0. They won the first
But I
set,
think you're right. That's what they have to
60-30.
do. They have to try different things, different looks, different formations. I mean, there's no sense in sticking with a losing strategy.
Yeah, I think, I don't know what they're going to come up with because I'm not sure that this is, that the tactics that are required to pull this out right here are tactics that Curtis and not Stoklosova, how's that? Curtis and Andreikova. Vicky's everywhere, looming large. They don't see this, so it's really hard to know what to do. Because they don't come up against two overhead rollers in the women's game like this.
Hand controllers, both have big returns. That you saw one there from Andreikova, And, you know, they keep returning well. That'll put them in position on their return game. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, they've got to return and pounce. You know, the serves of Nicolescu and Nika, as you have talked about before, they can be suspect at times. And
15 all.
I think maybe they just have to go bigger on their returns, Lauren. I think they've got to try to get some let courts, just some lucky bounces, just maybe catch them before the point gets underway. Because I feel like the longer the point goes on, Nicolescu and Anika just become so much more comfortable in the point.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Curtis had a great return on that last point, but Nicolescu came up with a good volley. This time Nicolescu stays back.
15-30.
Shout out to APTA President Tiernan Cavana. We've got our sixth state, Connecticut, enjoying the action on the live stream thanks to eNet Live.
15-40.
There we go. There's some big returns.
Yeah, really good spot up the middle, kind of forced that real awkward volley. Nicolescu trying to reach to her right with that low backhand. Perfect spot.
There we go.
30-40.
You know, you're spot on before when you pointed out about how deep in the court Andreikova loves to play, Lauren. We've seen that for a long time, and right there you could see it. It's almost like with each shot, she gets a little closer to the back screen, but then that is putting her in a situation where she's much more vulnerable to the roller overhead.
She's very comfortable there, and she has great drives off both sides, but it does leave her open to that attack, roller attack. Back to deuce.
Following the women's finals, we will have a men's match featuring the team of Orion Parsons coming up against New Jersey's finest team, one of New Jersey's finest teams, Victor Vidal and Lucas Green, pros at the wonderful Navasink Club down the Jersey Shore. That's slated for 2:30, Lauren.
Yeah, we have tons more paddle all day long.
Game, Anika Nicolescu, they lead the second set 2-0.
Oh, Patty, Andreikova, and Curtis had their chances in that game. Couple break points, couldn't close it out.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Lauren, I just wonder about being on the court so long and so late last night. A little bit of a disadvantage for them, for sure. Nika and Nicolescu had, you know, a much easier path to the finals. These guys are all pros. They're used to it, though. But I just wonder if it's a factor here. Do you think it is, Lauren? Be truthful.
I think that, well, yes, I think it's hard to recover after a day of paddle like that. I'm not sure how much of a difference it's making in that match, in this match.
Look at the pressure from Anika and Nicolescu. I mean, that's Hanish and Zabori like. Just, you know, when you have two players who just really love to take it on and play that real aggressive style of paddle, really fun to watch, really tough to defend. See how much room Anika gives up out on that deuce corner, Lauren? I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, Andreikova, if she gets that cross court, just takes a shot and just tries to hit the nick and just get some lucky bounces here. Is this a must-hold game, do you think, for their momentum, Lauren?
I do. I definitely do.
15-30.
So much of this match is about getting into the point, you know, with all these big returns on the court. About figuring out how to get into the point.
15-40.
2 points now for a 3-love lead for Anika Nicolescu.
At least you didn't say Stokosova.
No.
I have the honor of handling Stoklosova's induction at the Nationals in March. So in between live streaming matches, I've been working on my speech, Lauren. It's on my brain.
Plenty of great things to say. I'm sure you have had no problem.
They lead the second set 3-0. They won the first 6 games to 3.
So in terms of national rankings, Lauren, with Andreeva and Curtis, as we said, you know, going into the Philly Open here, they were 18th in the country, and they stand to make huge strides here. I'm not sure exactly how many points they're going to get for, you know, reaching the finals. I mean, they could come back and win this, of course, but they're going to add 80 or 90 ranking points, I believe, to their total potentially, which would vault them way up and, you know, possibly get them into the top 8 teams heading into the national championships.
15-love.
I haven't done the math yet. Have you?
Oh, and I'm so bad at it. But I will say that they belong in the top 8, and it would be good for everybody if they were seated in the top 8 for nationals and don't have to face any of the top seeds really early.
Yeah, I have a feeling if they could pull this out, they would secure a top 8 spot for sure. I think they're going to be real close, even as finalists here today. But, you know, they changed the match last night.
They did. They looked out of it. They really did. And, you know, they tightened their games up and they steadied themselves out and hit some great shots. And we all know this about paddle. I mean, the match you did before, it looked like it was like Bostrom and Maxley Pavert were out of it too. And they completely turned it around. So never say never. Not with all these great players.
That's so true.
30-40.
But it's hard to see at this moment. Other than Anika and Nicolescu making a whole bunch of errors, it's hard to see what's going to change.
Deuce.
Yeah, I just don't see them doing that necessarily. I feel like each of them individually with all of their partners are really good front runners.
Yeah.
And you know, they are the champions for a reason because they can close out. Wow.
Advantage, Curtis Andreeva.
That was incredible. And you could see Jade just bouncing around the court and so looking to help. And she saw that ball headed out of that corner. Wow, what a wonderful play.
Neutralize the roller.
That's too good, Gabby. Too good.
Deuce.
Good shot.
Gosh, that's a heck of a drop shot. I mean, really, she just stopped that on a dime.
Judy Gerard's enjoying the action from Hague, New York.
Advantage, Anika Nicolescu.
Judy moved up to Lake George year-round recently, Lauren, and she's got the paddle bug. She's out there practicing all the time and just is so fun to have around, following her brother Jim Ripkema's lead.
Get there!
Deuce.
I like it. I feel like Andreeva and Curtis realize the urgency of this moment right now. I feel like a little bounce in their step, a little bit more energy. Oh boy.
Advantage, Curtis Ondrakova.
I can do that. That's about the only thing I can do the same as Anika. Yeah, critical game for Ondrejka and Curtis, obviously. Oh boy.
I don't know if she should have worn that white outfit. It's like a beacon. Nicolescu.
I used to recommend to people to wear the colors that the court was painted so they could camo them.
Camouflage, exactly.
Got it.
You can't hit her if you can't find her.
Advantage, Anika Nicolescu.
Yeah, and I'm a little concerned. It's a little too late to start having conversations about tactics. I would have liked them to have pulled this out a little bit earlier and slow down play. I just feel like Nicolescu and Anika are totally comfortable in this match.
That seemed to close out this game, though.
Yeah, good recognition from Curtis that the line was open, and she took it.
Advantage, Anika Nicolescu.
Let's see if Nicolescu is moving this time. I mean, that's part of the challenge of returning when you're playing against her. She's always moving at the net. You can't keep returning in the same spot.
Lauren, quick shout out to Heather Propp out in Cincinnati. Heather's been a wonderful player in our game for 18 years, pro at Hyde Park, and unfortunately she suffered another knee injury and is out of nationals. We'll miss seeing her there.
We will.
But thank God she's enjoying the live streaming, but she is so bumming she's not going to be able to play nationals. COVID prevented her traveling the last 2 years. She became a grandmother, so she's happy with her other responsibilities in life as well.
Advantage, Curtis Ondrakova. Game, Curtis Ondrakova.
All right, well, that was a must-win game for Curtis and Ondrakova. Got themselves on the board here in the second set. Let's see if they can build on that.
Yeah, and I love Curtis's ability out of that ad court to move around her return to serve. You know, we saw her force an error from Nicolescu a game earlier, kind of over the center middle line, and there she took Roxy a little bit, made her reach out wide to her left with a little bit of an off-speed return to serve for Jade Curtis. Really smart shots. Don't you feel the charge coming, Lauren?
No, but it certainly could. It certainly
I did.
I wouldn't be shocked. That's just a bad time to make that error. They're just building a little bit of momentum. They got to be feeling a little bit like they're getting into it. No easy points.
Yeah, I think if I was Curtis and Ondrakova or Stokosova, whichever one she's playing with, whomever, I would start to go after Anika a little bit more here. I think I need Nicolescu to cool off. Don't give her as many opportunities to touch the ball. I just think, of the players, Nicolescu and Anika are both incredibly talented. But I would force the play over to Anika much more and, in that deuce court and make her beat you. And even at the net, I would play keep away here.
Looks like they're doing that, and they drew the error.
So I think that's one of the challenges for Anika here. You know, she's the alpha when she typically plays with most people. Here, she doesn't need to be, and she's done a beautiful job throughout the tournament yesterday, you know, going and being a role player in a sense. And I think that takes tremendous pressure off Anika as a player. So I think if she can just, you know, steady, minimize her unforced errors and, you know, capitalize when she gets the opportunity, you know, they come out of this, and she just has no need to force any play when your partner is Nicolescu, in my opinion. We got Vermont. John Oliva's over in Addison, Vermont. Enjoying the action.
Meanwhile, really good point by Curtis and Andres.
Easy for you to say again.
Yeah, I
right?
know. I was looking at the.
We joke.
Curtis and Andrekova. I stopped mid word. It was too long for me.
Where's Sally Jones when we need her?
Right, exactly. But they did. Jane Curtis is pretty close to Sally Jones. But they did an excellent job building the point. They got themselves up to the net. Now they have 2 game points. 1 game point.
Ooh, that hurt.
Yes.
Deuce.
Andrekova's got to let that ball go.
So hard to resist.
Yeah.
I mean, she can reach things off the top shelf in any kitchen, Lauren. She can reach any ball. You know, hard to resist the tendency to want to go for that.
Advantage. Curtis Andrekova.
See right there, Anika didn't do her team any favors there. She missed in the bottom of the net. Just roll that ball. She wasn't going for a winner. Just put it in play. Keep the pressure on Jade Curtis's serve. Kudos to Manufacturers Club, wonderful host for the Philly Open this year, and to tournament director Scott Balatek.
Game.
Well done.
Love it.
Andrekova, Anika Nicolescu lead the second set, 3 games to 2. They won the first, 6 games to 3.
All right, Patty. We have a competitive set here.
Yeah, this is a real uptick in the play from Andrekova and Curtis here in the last couple games, which is great. I'm glad for them because they just had such a wonderful win last night at the end of the day, or late in the night at 10 o'clock. And I really wanted them to come out here and be super competitive. The first set was a little rough, but they're definitely finding their way. I think psychologically, mentally, when you're really tired, that first set is a struggle, and then you switch sides at the end of the set, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, I only got 2 sets to go. I can do this, and somehow you can kind of draw on, a reservoir of some energy. I think all these top players can at that point. I think if you told them they had 5 more sets to play, that would be daunting. But now they know at the most they had 2 sets to go there. They just forget about that first set.
Okay, Gabby Nicolescu to serve, 3-2.
Love 15.
There's a good move from Curtis.
Yep, and that's how they got themselves. That's how they righted their ship last night. And
Yep.
good drives from Andrekova out of the deuce court, and that pressure from Curtis coming in.
There's a
Yeah.
shot at Mark Fischel.
Mark's out there with all his friends hanging out, enjoying the tournament. I had to say it. so we're going to have to get an adjustment, I think, now from Anika Nicolescu, because you just have that pressure. Andrejka and Curtis, they're firing now. They've got it going. They're getting the combo, consecutive shots that are really applying a lot of pressure on Anika Nicolescu right now.
Yeah, you saw Nicolescu stayed back.
30 all.
And Laura, what I meant by consecutive shots, like a sequence of shots. They, teams will get their mojo by, playing off of each other, and one shot leads to another shot, leads to another shot. And, we're seeing that happening here with Curtis and Andre.
30-40.
Good return from Andrejkova. Break point for 3-all.
Oh boy, did they know that Gabby switched to the deuce court?
Deuce.
They didn't recognize that. I thought the bright shirt color. Avoid, don't hit there. Of the only place in the court they gave her 2 forehands in a row. They might regret that.
Big moments here in the second set.
Yep, little Aussie setup, try to offset that beautiful cross-court return from Andrejkova on the deuce court.
Yeah, you see Anika move all the way over to get a forehand.
Lauren, right now I call this Gabby time. Gabby wants the ball more than any other player in the moment of truth. She wants every ball to land on her paddle. And that's why
advantage of that one. Yep.
That's why she's a great champion in our sport. I mean, she doesn't shy away from the moment. She embraces the moment. And that's where Anika, there's an art to recognizing when your partner's feeling it and when they've got the skills, and let them do their thing. Wow.
Great defensive volley from Anika.
Yeah, they were nicky there. Come on!
Game, Anika.
What a hold. What a hold.
Second set, 4 games to 2.
Well,
Lauren, when I was watching Nicolescu and Anika yesterday, I was watching as the intensity increased in the point, or at the moment in the match, how hard Nicolescu slapped Anika's hand. And Anika, Gabby goes right-handed with that slap, and I mean, when she's in it, that slap gets louder and louder. I was a little fearful for Anika's left hand.
Love 15.
Yeah, great spot in between the two players, caused a little confusion.
yeah, I think Curtis moved, and so Andrejkova didn't go for the volley, and that's just what you want, is the person hitting the drive. Confusion.
Love 30. Love 40.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was going to take a little bit of the wind out of their sails. Losing that game, they had points to make it 3-all. It's a little deflating for Curtis Andrejkova.
I think that's spot on, Lauren. Just kind of a little bit loss of concentration right there, loss of focus, or maybe just dwelling, and all of a sudden they're in a gigantic hole.
Yeah, you feel the intensity went down a little bit from them.
She catch it?
40.
She did. She
Wow.
did. Nice work by Andrejkova.
Hey, they had a road race there. Did you?
Yeah.
Did you see? Curtis was going over, and Martinez thinking, "There's no way I'm letting her reach that ball first." I think there was a little motivation right there in that play.
She hit her with the paddle.
Did she hit her part? Did she, I think, did the follow through hit Curtis?
Looks like it.
We talked about how much your hand hurts from Gabby.
Yeah.
That even hurts more. But seriously, I love that they both ran that ball down. They had to do that. They had to show Nicolescu that we're going to take it. We're going to try everything here.
15-40.
Okay, hopefully Jay Curtis is okay.
Do you think Gabby hits this ball right at her? Just to test how her hand is.
It's fair game.
That was the first point you won, right? It was love 40 and that was
15-40.
Yep.
Nicolescu had, Anika had a nice roller on her last return to serve, caused a volley error. So good adjustment here. Show a little Aussie. Force Anika, do something different.
Game, Anika Nicolescu. They lead the second set 5-2. They won the first set 6-3.
All right.
Yeah, and Lauren, that's just the pressure that Anika and Nicolescu apply as a team. It's relentless, and that's where, if you're the net team, you're not going to get away with being off the net. You're going to have to move forward. If you're up there, then you even have to get closer to try to, decrease the distance between your paddle and the net. Or you've got to bail, you've got to bail. You just can't let them just keep pummeling and finding the spots. Because I just think that's where Nicolescu and Cruz, Cruz, there we go. Another partner I slipped in there. Shout out to Liz Cruz. Nicolescu and Anika there. It's just that constant pressure. So we'll see if Andreeva and Curtis can pull out another rabbit out of the hat like they did last night. Down
They're
here.
going to have to.
Yeah,
They're
down
gonna have to.
5-2.
Yep.
And lost the set 6-3. Following this match at 2:30, we'll have a men's match coming up, and action will continue throughout the afternoon. Men's final slated for 9:30 Sunday morning.
Great return from Curtis.
Yeah, I think they got the memo. Hit Anika. Don't hit the girl in the bright shirt. And Roxy loves this, I think, because she really wants to play the ad court.
Yeah,
And I think it's really nice for Nicolescu to let her play a couple points over there. What a pickup from Anika.
Huh.
Yeah, great play from Curtis.
Yeah, good recognition from her.
We'll see if Nicolescu moves here on the Andreeva return to serve.
15-30.
Kind of surprised. I thought she would. Because you knew that Curtis is doing a really good job at applying pressure from the ad court. It's a way to negate it. Move if you're the net player and try to pounce on it.
Time.
30-all.
Great cross-court volley from Anika.
Well, it was great. Cross court often is dangerous if it's short, but that was pure deep into the snowboard. Amazing shot.
She saw how far over Curtis was. She felt like she had the room, and she did.
30-40.
Another good move from Curtis. Pretty roller.
Beautiful. Instead of, Andreikova heading out the deuce court side, I thought she was going to the ad court door. Yeah, she just was lost. She just didn't want to get hit with the ball.
Andreikova.
A little bit of an opening.
Game Curtis Andreikova. Anika Nicolescu lead the second set, 5-3.
So impressed with the accuracy and, the variety that we've seen from Curtis out of that ad court on her return to serve today, and all day yesterday as well. Just wonderful control of her strokes.
Down the line, cross, inside out. She's been able to do it all.
Yep, and Anika has to hit the delete button on that game. Not her finest, but they're still up 5-3, second set.
Love 15.
I think Andreikova just rushed that.
Yeah, do you think Gabby's going to drive this return, Lauren? I think she'll take the line here.
15 all.
Yeah.
Wow. A rare miss. Is that the third mistake in this match from Nicolescu?
I don't know, but there haven't been many. Yeah.
15-30.
I guarantee Nicolescu doesn't miss 2 return of serves in a row.
Guarantee. Wow.
Guarantee.
Those are strong words.
Shout out to our buddy out in Telluride, Colorado, Eric Fay.
You were correct.
15-40.
Match
Eric
point. Sorry.
Yeah, Eric was a good buddy to the late George Wilkinson. Our thoughts are with Eric. Here we go. Match point. Championship point, Lauren.
Got it?
30-40.
Smart shot from Andreikova. She caught Nicolescu flat-footed there. She didn't expect the ball to come back to her.
Yeah, beautiful depth on that forehand.
Game Anika Nicolescu. They win the match 6-3, 6-3.
Great match. Great match. Great.
So, Lauren, what an awesome display of power and efficiency when they play with Anika and Nicolescu. I mean, we know that they have such a tremendous upside, and that was just sheer power over there. And we're going to get an opportunity to talk to the champions of the Philly Open shortly. But Andreikova and Curtis, what a wonderful job they've done for themselves to position themselves within that top 8, I think for sure, Lauren, with their final appearance here. And it didn't hurt Anika or Nicolescu either. They needed points. They didn't have that many tournaments. And this is going to vault them way up, more important, and as such an explosive team, you're right, no one wants to see them in the top 8 out of the top teams. So both teams, great day.
Yeah, it was really nice to see this final. Each of these players has been a few of these. Oh, we're about to have the interview. Mark Fischel's getting everyone together.
Yeah, we talked about the national rankings, Lauren, and the opportunity for both these teams to so improve their standing going into the national championships on Long Island, third weekend in March. And of course, that's where Hanish and Sabori, number one seeds, undefeated this year, 6 tournament wins. And I think Roxy and Gabby want to thank Floor and Anna for not playing this event, opening the door for all these other wonderful women's teams to display their amazing skills.
Throw it to Mark Fisher now. He's with our winners.
Okay, I'm here with the winners of the 2022 Philly Open, Roxy and Nika, Gabby Nicolescu. Guys, congratulations. Roxy, looks like you played well out there.
I did. I felt that I finally broke the ice and didn't let my partner down today.
Gabby, we've seen you on the deuce court and the ed court. You're such an active player. It seems like you like playing over on the backhand a little bit better.
You know, I just like to win, Mark. A great time, really good organization. I want to thank Patterson and my club. I'm sure Roxy wants to thank Orienta for supporting us and, allowing us to be here and compete. And then, of course, Cole for our new awesome paddles. Couldn't done it without them. So thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, for watching and supporting from far away and close by. Appreciate it.
Well, congratulations, and we'll be back with the men's quarterfinal at 2:30.